Can we take a sweat break real quick? You good? Does someone give me a towel back there? I gotta wipe my forehead off. Oh, that's for my balls too. So, that's good. All right, that'll last 5 minutes. Why did I do that? Pick it up, you bitch. All right. I'm paying you for this shit. What? Where's your fan? All here. I was kind of hoping you would blow me later, but, good night, everybody! I didn't deserve any of that. Hello, beautiful. Thanks for coming out. It's great to be here. I just got a new roommate. I'm trying to kick him out, but it's tough because he's a spider. I was leaving the house one day, I saw a spider on the ceiling, and I was like, shit, I don't own a broom. Probably there's a bunch of fucking bugs in the house. So I left. I came back, I was getting ready to kill the spider, but then there was a fly in my room also. I was like, I don't have time to be chasing 17 different insects. I'm a very famous comedian. I've got a show in Seattle in 6 months to get ready for. So I looked at the spider, I go, hey man, you take care of that fly, I'll let you hang out for a couple more days. I smoke a lot of pot, right? So I left, I came back, the fly was in the spider web. He fucking got him. He listened to me, yeah. I look at the spider, I go, way to go, buddy. He was like, yeah. Because he's got 8 legs. That's the whole, okay, I don't know. You look confused, so I didn't want you driving home like, I didn't get the spider thing, but. We picked a good show, I'm very famous. That's not supposed to be a laugh. A couple years ago, I filmed a special with this website, Dry Bar Comedy, and if you never heard of them, they're basically Netflix for Mormons. And I'm not Mormon, by the way. That sounded defensive. I used to look very Mormon. Even as a kid, if I rode a bicycle, my whole neighborhood went into lockdown. Not that there's anything wrong with well, there's a couple things, but if you're not familiar with the Mormon religion, you're not allowed to have like alcohol or caffeine or fun, right? Unless your idea of fun is riding a bicycle in a suit. So they made a service where you can edit out offensive parts of TV shows. Say you're like a Mormon boy, you want to watch Game of Thrones, but you're offended by nudity. You select from a menu, no nudity, and you just watch the other 13 minutes of Game of Thrones. Very exciting. I told my dad that I was filming a show with him. He goes, do they have the opposite service? I was like, I think that's just porn, Dad. I don't know. How much dialogue is there to skip? Here's your pizza. Boring. Fast forward, let's see some tits. Dry Bar ended up getting sued by Disney for $60 million, because check this out. You're not allowed to take people's movies and edit them and then charge people to watch it. Who would have seen that coming? But bank error in my favor, because after that, they're like, who else can we take advantage of? And they were like, comedians can't read contracts. So I filmed a comedy special, got 15 million views in the first year. And after the first year, I still owed them $5,000. So that's why I'm here. Yeah. To take your money in person. That whole situation kind of makes me feel bad for Kanye. Relax. I have a Jewish friend. He told me I could tell this joke if I Venmo'd him $20. If you're a good person, you never clicked on the article, I'll try to sum it up for you. Kanye thought his record label didn't pay him enough money, so then he blamed all Jews ever for some reason. And a bunch of my friends are like, well, I'm not gonna listen to his music after this. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna stream his music more. Because I want the Jews to get their money. I want everyone to get their money. Except Kanye. Kanye was like, I don't get paid when people stream my music. And I was like, sounds like a win-win. Kanye's former manager was a guy named Scooter Braun, who you might recognize from his previous work, such as fucking over Taylor Swift and a bunch of other artists. And I can't believe Kanye decided to hate a whole group of people based on the actions of one person, and it wasn't just dudes named Scooter. If I walked into a meeting and a guy was like, hey, I'm Scooter, I'd be like, hey, I'm leaving. But you know you can change your name. Tom Cruise's name wasn't always Tom Cruise. It was Scooter. Hey, I just feel bad, you know, he's obviously misguided, and I've been a comedian for 15 years now, and I hate to break it to you, Kanye, that's just show business. Right? Has nothing to do with Jews, I'm getting fucked by Mormons. They're not fucking me, they're just inside of me and someone else is jumping on the bed, but Oh, all right. That was a long way to go for a soaking joke, but I'm glad there was a climax at the end. I have a friend who's 21 years old, because I'm hip and I'm cool. We were watching a movie the other day, and a canceled actor popped up on the screen, and it's kind of ruined the movie for us, because we forgot he was in there, and then we're spending the next 20 minutes thinking about all the shitty things that the guy did, and you know, you're not really paying attention to the plot. You're like, Kevin Spacey as a love interest, that doesn't make sense. And I think we need a Netflix for liberals. Right? The Mormons have their version. What about one for liberals where it shows each canceled actor and what they got canceled for? And then you can decide whether to skip the scene in the movie, right? It's like, oh, possession of cocaine. And you're like, who cares? Jerked off in front of a girl in his trailer. Oh, it's a really good movie, though. Voted Republican once in 1984. Fuck that! Take away his family! He doesn't deserve to live. It's interesting who gets canceled and who stands the test of time. I can't believe Van Gogh paintings are still worth millions of dollars. That guy cut his ear off and mailed it to a woman. Talk about unwanted advances. He's like, I'll show you who's a good listener. I guess it had to be hard to flirt back then. You couldn't just send a dick pic, you know? You had to paint it. Oh, it's a starry night indeed. Have someone deliver it. Hey, this one's for my girlfriend. This one's for my mom. Don't mix them up, please. Also, you're a bird. This is gonna go well. That was the first tweet. Living through some crazy times, you know? Hopefully one thing we take away from all this, though, is recognizing the things that are actually important to all of us. And for me, I couldn't have made it through this year without family. With money. I mean, that made things so much easier. My brother lives in Hollywood because he's a big-time director, and you might have seen some of his work, actually. He does all the TV commercials for Taco Bell. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel let down by my high school guidance counselor. I didn't know that was an option. He gets paid millions of dollars a year to be like, hey, when I yell action, eat the taco. Stay away from the dog, he's a biter. Also, I've never been in a Taco Bell commercial. How is that possible? Have you seen my hair? It's perfect. I thought Hollywood was all about nepotism. Guess it doesn't run in my family. But he's got 2 kids, so I go visit all the time. I still remember the day he told me I was gonna be an uncle, because he came downstairs after work. He was like, we're having a baby, and we need you to move out. I was like, this is bullshit. This is how you treat family. But the kids are great. They're 6 and 4, which is such a great age, because they can actually like walk and talk and get me stuff from the fridge. You know, but you gotta be careful too, because they're smarter than you think at that age. I already had an incident. No, I'm allowed near schools. It's not that serious. Here's the problem. Whenever I fly, I try to bring a full-size pillow on the plane. And I'm sure TSA thinks it's weird and flight attendants make fun of me. I don't really care. I just smoke a bunch of pot. I get a window seat, and then I wake up in a new city, you know? I'm like, oh, I time traveled. This is amazing. But recently I was visiting my brother, and his 4-year-old comes running up to me. She's like, you forgot your pillow here last time. I go, oh, how did you remember that it was my pillow? She goes, it smells like you. And I was like, oh, shit. She doesn't know it yet, but in 10 years, she's gonna be at Coachella like, hey, this concert smells like my uncle, you know? Someone's burning rope over here. I try to sleep on planes whenever possible. That's why I don't understand whenever I get to the airport at 6 a.m., there's like a huge line outside of Starbucks. It's like, who wants to be awake for what is about to happen? My friends are like, I can't sleep on planes. I get too anxious. What if something happens? I'm like, what if something happens? Let's play it out. I've seen the movies where they burst out of the cockpit. Is there a pilot on board? Is there a doctor on board? It's gonna be a long time before they're like, does anyone know any good dick jokes? Like, we're going down, let's just make it fun. I got on a plane one time and got in my seat, and my seatmate looks at me, sees the pillow, and he goes, want me to wake you for anything? I was like, not even if we're going down. Let me have a dream about a roller coaster and wake up as a squirrel. My brother just got baptized for the first time at age 40. And we weren't raised religious at all, so when my parents found out, they actually freaked out. They'd call me up, they go, we're worried about your brother. We need you to check in on him. I'm like, hey, relax. As far as a midlife crisis goes, Jesus is pretty mild. It could be worse. At least he's not buying a Corvette and abandoning his family. Too close to home for Seattle? I apologize. I'll change it to Prius next time. But, oh, that's offensive? Okay. And look, there's nothing wrong with Jesus. There's a couple things. But it's great for his life and his family. It just sucks because sometimes he gets a little judgy if I want to catch a buzz. We took a family vacation recently and rented an Airbnb together. At the end of the night, I just opened a door to smoke a joint on the porch. My brother starts freaking out. He's like, don't do it out here. It's not legal in this state. I don't want the neighbors to freak out. I'm like, wow. I knew weed made you paranoid, but I thought you had to smoke it first. Also, we're in Florida. I don't think they're gonna care. Florida's just happy I'm not doing bath salts. Like, literally, that is the state of low expectations. I think that's on their flag. And I get it. I used to be embarrassed I smoked pot until I started touring America as a comedian, and I realized how popular OxyContin is. And I was like, I'm doing fine, you know? Drugs aren't a big deal. In moderation. It's a Saturday, you guys are cool. Drugs aren't a big deal. Drugs are like speeding. Speeding's illegal. Technically, you know. But as long as you're going with the flow of traffic, no one's gonna care, right? If you're going 80 and some guy flies by you at 150, who do you think the cops are going after? Exactly, the black guy doing 55. But that's besides the point. I'm like, I don't want to be a hassle, you know? He's paying for the trip with his Taco Bell blood money. His Taco Bell bloody stool money, so... I'm like, all right, you just tell me where to go. He goes, oh, across the street, there's an abandoned field. Just go smoke out there. I don't want the neighbors to freak out. So now I'm standing in an empty field at 1 a.m, like, no, I think this is worse. I'm pretty sure the neighbor's gonna peek out the window, see a tall, dark, shadowy figure in an empty field, a lighter flickering in the wind. Hey, is that Scarecrow trying to light himself on fire? What the fuck is going on? You know, now that I'm out here, the stars are really pretty tonight. Why don't I just lay down on this picnic table and stare at the moon for an hour? I'm sure there'll be 911 calls about that. But it only takes 5 minutes to smoke a joint if you're doing it right. So I'm out of there before anyone can notice. And I'm trying to find my way back to the Airbnb, but it's one of those condos where all the buildings look the same. So now I'm at building J, trying to find building C, like a backwards alphabet DUI test. You know? The whole point is to not freak out the neighbors, but now I'm tiptoeing through Nana's rose bushes and peeking in windows. Is this C? Where am I going? Finally, I give up. I call my brother to come rescue me. And he does. We get inside. He's giving me this big lecture about drugs and Jesus. And at the end of it, I go, so you're telling me whenever you feel anxious, you just remember that Jesus loves you and everything feels better. He was like, yes. I was like, that's what drugs do for me. Yeah, you're talking to a guy who's not there. I have imaginary friends. We're not that different, you and I was like, I think you should try drugs. You would love it. That was about 2 years ago, and now he grows pot in his backyard. So hell yeah! I won the conversion battle. Take that, Jesus. All right. See you guys in hell. Family's great, though. You know, nothing like 10 days with your brother's kids to remind you why you push away anyone who's ever loved you. Don't want that to happen, even on accident. And, I'm done dating younger women. I'm 38, so most young women have been done dating me for a long time, but just announcing a policy change. 23-year-olds, you're super hot, but I can't even read the font on your Instagram stories, so get out of town. Go have a good life. It's fine. I'll circle back when I'm 50 and rich. That seems to be a more appropriate timeline. I'm 38. That's not old, but I'm not a young man anymore. It's time to date a woman who can recognize the signs of a stroke. My priorities have shifted. Everyone else on dating apps is like, do you have any pets? LOL, what's your sign? I'm like, do you know CPR? This is important. I don't like using dating apps, though. I prefer to meet my women in the wild. That's what it feels like sometimes. Not like hunting, but just like trying to feed a deer an apple in the woods. You know, you're just like, oh, hi. Hi. Oh, you're so pretty. Hi. Hi, are you hungry? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, no, I'll back up. It's all good. Oh, scared her off. Oh, I wasn't gonna hurt you. I just wanted to have sex with you. Not the deer. I feel like we got lost on the... All right. I don't know why I haven't met the one yet. I mean, I make good money. I own a home. I have things you could take in a divorce. I'm so lonely. Just, please. Just like a 4-year commitment, I would sign everything over. Cool. You guys are like, we'll take our chances on the street. That's fine. I guess it's like my grandma always said. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it suck your dick. So, the show is sponsored by PETA tonight, by the way. I don't like using dating apps. It seems like everyone on there just wants to fuck, and I want to fuck too, but not immediately. It feels weird, right, to summon a human from your phone? Just get over here. Feels like I'm making out with my Uber driver a little bit. Just like, well, the plates match. Just get in, I guess. I don't know. Wait, what's the name? Andrew, get in here, Andrew. All right, shit. I just met you 3 minutes ago from an app and you want me inside of you. I need a little more information. How about a user review system? Didn't kill me. 5 stars. Shit. I gotta raise my standards a little bit. It is a bad analogy, because people are way more careful with their Uber drivers than their Tinder dates. You ever see someone order an Uber? They double check that the plates match. They live share the location with a friend. They'll get dropped off 3 blocks from their apartment, just in case. People get a Tinder match. They're like, here's my address. The time of day my roommate's gone. Come fuck me now. It's like, I'm not even saying don't do it. I'm just saying be careful, okay? If you tell someone you like to be tied up, make sure you also mention you like to be let go. That's important. Some knowing laughs out there. Started seeing this girl recently. She's great. She's been previously married, so she's a rescue. And, oh. Have you tried dating in adulthood? It is exactly like going to the pound, okay? I'm not saying that they're bad dogs, but there's a reason they're in there. Just walking down that aisle of sadness trying to pick one out. In the arms of the angel. Some of them wag their tail at anybody that walks by. Oh, pick me, I'll lick your face. Oh, pick me. Some of them were nervous, like, hey, let me smell your fingers first. You know? I'm the one shivering in the corner, like, I don't deserve love. Oh, don't get close, I'm gonna pee. I found out that her last husband actually killed himself. Yeah, which is great news, because that means I'm her type. It's gonna work out. I know, it's a dark joke, but hang in there. It's worth it. We're gonna tie the knot soon. It's perfect. I just want 3 people laughing and the rest of you worried. That's how I like my show. You guys are whispering, this guy needs therapy. Is this a comedy show or a cry for help? Fucking both. Pay attention. I actually got over my last breakup with the help of a therapist, but it was a massage therapist, which is weird. She didn't jerk me off. That would have been much less awkward than what actually happened. I don't know what your typical massage expectations are like. I'm hoping to just get naked and never talk to you again, like a Tinder date, you know? But she got real touchy-feely with my actual feelings. I didn't appreciate it. She was asking me all these personal questions. She's like, are you single? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, why? And I was like, oh. Did she send you? Like, what's going on? What are you guys, splitting my deductible? What's with this line of questioning? And maybe it's my fault. Maybe I walked into the wrong building or I accidentally circled deep issue massage, right? But I'm trying to relax. She's going, tell me where the pain is. I'm like, on the inside, you know? But every time I would try to give like a vague answer to avoid the question, she just digs her knuckle into my thigh like I'm a prisoner in Guantanamo Bay. So she's like, how come things didn't work out? I'm like, oh, people change, people grow, you know? Time heals all wounds. And then she fucking elbow drops me, and I'm like, I didn't appreciate her enough. I'm so sorry. I ignored her phone calls until she acted crazy, and I blamed it on her. When I left that massage office, it felt just like regular therapy. I was crying. I called my dad to apologize. I had a bill for $800. That's when I realized sometimes it's not the happy ending you wanted, but it's the happy ending you needed. I got a couple deep issues to work out. And actually, before I get into the next joke, I just want to let you know up front that it's very personal, and it's fine, it's a good joke. I just tell you up front, so if you see me in the airport, we don't have to talk about it, you know? It's okay to just bring up the weather. The first time I ever had sex, I got chlamydia. Yeah, which was kind of impressive because it was the first time I had sex. I wasn't in there very long. What was it, just hiding in her bushes, waiting for me? It was also pretty traumatizing because it was the first time I had sex. I was like, I thought this was supposed to be a happy place. So for a long time after that, and still sometimes to this day, whenever I'm having sex, I get like Vietnam flashbacks, you know, like I've got a lot of like PTSTD, if you will, and in the middle of sex, the whole time I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is such a bad idea. I can feel the AIDS entering my body. And it turns out that is not great dirty talk. It was traumatizing. Imagine the first time you got on a roller coaster. It lasted 2 minutes, and then a week later, your dick was on fire. Next time someone was like, hey, you want to ride a roller coaster? You'd be like, I got a couple questions. I like those curves, but is this ride just for me? Or is like everyone getting on? Because I see Six Flags and they're all red. I ended up getting it again. I was 28, so just a few short months later. It's a shame that joke works so easily. You guys are like, that's plausible. I remember I was at the doctor's office. I was pantsless. And he's reading my chart. And then he sets it down. He grabs his magnifying glass, which is rude. And he's examining me. And he's like, so, it says you're from Seattle. What are you doing all the way in Indiana? And I was like, oh, well, I'm a comedian. And I'm on tour. And he's like, comedian, that's gotta be a lot of fun. Well, I was like, it was a week ago. You know? Can we get another sweat break over here? Are these the same towels? How dare you? He's like, how do you like it, asshole? Yeah. I rubbed him on my dick first. Yeah. It smells lovely. Thank you. Round of applause for my bitch, everybody. It's gonna be perfect. I'm beautiful here. I'm beautiful. I made a sign that says it. What were we talking about? Tits? All right. I became an accidental pothead during COVID. And I used to smoke just a little bit, but then they closed everything except pot shops and grocery stores. And I was like, this economy needs me. I'm a hero. I will order Uber Eats every single day so these frontline heroes can survive. But after 2 years and a couple million people dying, I had a thought, like, do I really want to be inhaling smoke in my lungs every night? Turns out the answer is still yes, you know, but I'm giving myself breaks. Like, I'll take like 5 days off and then like 360 days on, you know, just try to switch it up a little bit. I actually just got out of rehab. He was like, for pot, you pussy? It's not a real rehab, it's just what I nicknamed my parents' house. That's really the only time I'm sober, more than a few days in a row. And they know that I smoke pot, and they don't care that much. They're just annoying to be around. It'd be a waste of drugs anyway, but I try not to smoke at my parents' place because my dad had a cancer scare this year. He got cancer. It was very scary. He's doing fine. His dying wish is that you laugh at the fucking jokes, so step it up a little bit, okay? Yeah. I'm not afraid to pull the dad cancer card. I noticed that whenever I tell people my dad has cancer, if it's a young person, they always go, oh, I'm so sorry. And if it's an old person, they always go, what were his symptoms? Because young people are like, I'm gonna live forever. And old people are like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. And people in their 40s are like, do you think this beam will hold? Oh, that suicide joke is okay. But the other one, all right, you just let me know which one you like. I always have to continue the conversation, you know, oh, well, it was esophageal cancer, so he started having trouble swallowing. And then I noticed within 60 seconds, people just start swallowing in front of me. They're like clearing their throat. They're like, so Seattle coming up, that sounds fun. I'm like, are you testing yourself for cancer in front of me? I don't think that's how that works. I haven't done it yet, but I'd like to start fucking with people just to see what I can get away with, you know? Just be like, yeah, one of the main symptoms he had was he was having trouble balancing on one leg. Just to see how long it takes them, just start leaning one way in the conversation. Cool, good luck with the taping or whatever. Yeah, all right. Think I'm good, all right. But anyway, I'm still smoking almost every day, and I figured if Snoop Dogg hasn't had a cancer scare yet, I should be fine, right? That's what my doctor told me. Dr. Dre. Which brings me to my next point. Just because someone has doctor in their name doesn't mean you should trust them, right? Dr. Dre, Dr. Oz, Dr. Cliff Huxtable, none of those guys have your best interest at heart. All right. Just waiting for everyone to fucking calm down. There's been a lot of studies on pot this year, or maybe just the algorithm finally figured out what I like, but I was reading this one article that said because marijuana is so addictive, if you pair it with a good habit, you could become addicted to the good thing also. I was like, that seems counterintuitive. I guess it's like a association game in your brain, right? If all you do is smoke pot and eat Cheetos, every time you smoke pot, your brain is like, it's Cheeto time. But if you replace Cheetos with like spelling, it's a bad example. The example they gave in the article is that some people smoke pot and then they work out and then they become addicted to working out. I was like, that seems counterintuitive. Unless the workout is just getting off the couch. Whoa, these pizza boxes are heavy, you know? But I tried it out. It is super effective for your workout. Because in the middle of it, you're just like, 1, 2, if only the good die young. Is Billy Joel calling my grandpa an asshole? Shit, where was I? 1, 2, my left arm's fucking ripped. I tried to switch to a vape pen because I thought that might be healthier. I Googled it. I was like, is vaping healthier than smoking? And it said maybe. And I was like, good enough for me. Close tab. Look at me doing my own research, you know? But I didn't like the vape pen because I ended up smoking way more just because it's easy to use. I don't have the willpower to not roll over first thing in the morning. It's been a tough 3 minutes. I deserve this. I had a bad dream. I ran out of weed in my dream. That's the problem with making drugs easy to use, right? There should be some stank. You shouldn't be able to puff a cloud of vapor and disappear like the Batman, you know? Like, there should be some shame involved. Can we stop making candy-flavored drugs? Like, did we learn nothing from Big League Chew? You can't make drugs easy to use. When you put heroin in pill form, you get Ohio. Like, it's not good. One of my best friends lives in Ohio. I live in Seattle, and she came to visit recently. So I was trying to play tour guide, you know. I was like, oh, check out the mountains and the waterfalls. And just a couple weeks ago, I was in Cincinnati, so she's like, let me return the favor. Check out our tire fire, you know? Want to see a pile of needles? I'm like, I'm from Seattle, we have that. We have the needle, it's like the biggest one, you know? I was like, I do gotta give you credit. The Midwest sunsets are so pretty. Love the colors in the sky. She goes, actually, it's 1 p.m. That orange glows from the toxic chemical fire across town. I was like, oh, shit. I don't know if you guys have heard, Ohio's going through it. They had a train full of toxic chemicals flip over and spill everywhere. And then they cleaned it all up. And they put it in a truck to take it somewhere safe. And then that truck flipped the fuck over. I'm like, who's in charge of your nuclear plant? Homer Simpson? What is going on? Ohio is proof that superheroes are not real. Every 2 weeks, they're dumping toxic sludge in the drinking water. I have yet to see a Ninja Turtle anywhere. I have seen a lot of snapping humans. She kept trying to convince me. She's like, Ohio's amazing. We have the most astronauts of any state. I was like, that's how I know your state sucks. When you're bragging about how many people try to leave. But I was curious. I was like, wonder why that is. So I looked it up. Here's what I found out. In June of 1969, one of Ohio's rivers was so polluted, it literally caught on fire. In July of 1969, the first man landed on the moon, and Neil Armstrong is from Ohio. Sounds like he was looking at water on fire. And he looked at the moon and he was like, can't be worse. And by the way, if you're from the Midwest, I'm not making fun of you. I think you're brave. You chose to play life on the most difficult setting. Of course you become astronauts. Nothing scares you. Can you imagine an astronaut from Ohio? He's like, I've heard Jupiter's gravity can kill a man, but my depression is also crushing, so at least no one can hear me sob in space. Then he gets up there and he's like, wow, what a beautiful planet. Oh, it's a gassy giant with rivers of lava. Just like home. I take it back. Ohio did grow one superhero. LeBron James, yeah. but he fucking left too. So, yeah. Turns out everyone great from Ohio either goes to space or to Space Jam. You're right, that one could have been a tweet, but you know what? Twitter sucks now. Let's put it on video. Follow me on Threads. Oh, what a hip crowd. They know the apps. I like living in Seattle. I think we got some unique things, you know? We live next to a volcano. That's pretty weird. I think we don't talk about it enough. But when people come to visit, they're like, oh, the market and the needle, and then like, what's the giant mountain over there? You're like, oh, that's just where Godzilla sleeps. One day he's gonna wake up and burn everything, but until then, that's where we decided to make a city, you know? I think it's because it's 100 miles from the city, so we don't really see it unless it's like the nicest day possible, which means our weather's like 6 months of dark, gray, rain, depression, Kevorkian, and then just the first day of spring, you leave hibernation, like vitamin D. And you look, and there's just a mountain holding a knife. I've been doing comedy for 15 years, and I started comedy here in Seattle at a place called Giggles Comedy Club. Oh, you guys are familiar? All right. Giggles was the first comedy club to ever put me on stage, and they were the first comedy club to make me a paid regular, and then they went out of business. And I've been told those things aren't related, but I've seen the tapes. After Giggles closed down, they turned it into a strip club, and then I became a paying regular. What's true and funny is that they didn't even change the sign on the building. They were like, it's Jiggles, it's French, whatever. Jiggles, oh. Jiggles Gentlemen's Club ended up closing down because it's across the street from an elementary school. Yeah, who would have seen that coming? It's back to a comedy club now. And I'm glad, but it makes me curious, why does the government think a comedy club is safer for the children? Every stripper I know is saving up for grad school. Every comedian I know is not allowed near a school. Like, she makes more money than I do, her parents are still proud of her, she's the much better role model. Is it motivation for the kids? Right? Hey, Timmy, you want to be the class clown? Well, you can work at Giggles someday, and you won't have to study math because you'll get paid in chicken fingers. You know? It's back to a comedy club. They call it Laughs to avoid any confusion. But it still makes me nervous to perform there, because I'm like, what if someone walks in expecting it to still be a strip club? Just like a bachelor party walking in. From behind, they're like, oh, what a sexy lady, you know? And then I turn around and I'm like, oh no. Except for one guy who's like, I mean, let's just stick it out, you know? Let's just... If you're gonna go to a strip club, though, don't go in Seattle. They suck. Go to Portland. All right. That is a pervert over there. And, plus, they just legalized every drug. So you just go down to Portland, you take a bunch of acid, and then you get a lap dance, and it's 6 tits for the price of 2. You know, I was just in Portland doing a show, and we pulled up to the theater, and there were like tents everywhere on the street. I was like, I can't believe people camped out for tickets like that. That's crazy, you know? They can just buy them online. Now I know why they call it Oregon Trail, because it looks like everyone is dying of dysentery. You're not gonna like the rest of these jokes. I do like the slogan, though, keep Portland weird. But I don't think Portland is that weird. What are they known for? They have more breweries than any other city, and they have more strip clubs than any other city. Oh, we like beer and tits, we're so weird. What else are they known for? White people? Check. No, but we wear kilts and ride unicycles. That's just what happens when white people go unchecked for too long. Introduce some culture. I looked it up. Portland is 80% white and 19% very white. And 1% Portland Trailblazers. Yeah. Portland is so white, the beer is the only thing with hops in the city. I'll tell you what is weird about Portland, though. The graffiti's far too positive for my liking. If you go to the East Coast and you see a burned out building, someone spray painted "Abandon all hope." But you go to Portland and see the same building and someone says, "Follow your dreams." You're like, ah. Doesn't make sense. I was just in Canada and not doing a show, just visiting my girlfriend from high school. And I like going to Canada because I like bragging that I don't have a DUI. Oh, I don't know if you know that. You're not allowed in Canada if you've had a DUI in the last 10 years. I thought America had a tough immigration policy. Holy shit. America's like, build a wall. Canada's like, as long as you haven't driven into one, we're cool. Yeah. I think it's a good rule, though, because it stops the people with poor decision-making skills from coming in. That's what you got to worry about, right? We could use some of those laws in America, right? America, we have a gun problem. I think if you ever tweeted, "I dare to come take my guns," we should get to take your guns, right? If I don't trust your Twitter finger, I don't trust your trigger finger. Shoots 140 characters in 10 seconds. 3-person applause break. That's what the kids love. I do think we should give teachers guns, because then they can rob a Staples for office supplies that they need. We had 3 masked bandits. They stole notebooks, pencils, and backpacks and apologized on their way out. Must have been Canadian. I feel bad for kids. We're taking away all their books and giving them magazines. We'll insert the laughter later. Don't worry about it. I noticed traveling that you can tell a lot about the city by what the billboards are, because they're trying to sell stuff to people in that town, right? It's the same way you can tell who watches a TV show by what the commercials are. Right? If you watch Fox News, it's all big trucks and bathtubs with doors, right? If you watch MSNBC, it's all electric minivans and bathtubs with doors, you know? No one under 50 is watching TV, is the point of that joke. That's why this is on YouTube. And if you look to your left, you'll probably see an advertisement for hot girls in your area, because you're a pervert. But I think you can tell a lot about a city by what the billboards are, right? If you go to Texas, it's like Boot Barn and fireworks. If you go to Tennessee, it's like pro-life and fireworks. And if you go to Alabama, it's just pictures of fireworks. Because they can't read. Yeah. If I got to explain all the jokes, it's going to be a long show. That's why I know I'm home in Seattle, because all of our billboards are just weed. Every 1/8 of a mile, get your weed, get your Starbucks. Get your upper, get your downer. Mix them together, find the balance, like owning a jacuzzi. People say we're known for the Seattle freeze because we don't smile at strangers, but I don't think people from Seattle are rude. I think we're just stoned. Those ain't rain clouds, that's blunt smoke. The great thing about weed is that you can't overdose on it. I've tried. I mean, you can, but it's not lethal. You're not gonna die or whatever. Like, the other night I was smoking and a helicopter flew so low it shook my entire house. I was like, they're probably dropping chemicals on us. And then I was like, oh, that's too much weed. I hit the limit, you know? I was at the airport the other day. I saw a guy with a t-shirt on and said 9/11 was an inside job. I was like, why would you wear that shirt in an airport? That feels like you're asking for extra attention. You know what else is an inside job? Cavity searches. I like conspiracy theories, they're fun. My favorite is the deep state conspiracy, which means there's like a secret shadow government running shit, and the presidents are just puppets. And my friends think I'm crazy. I prefer the term optimistic. Right? Otherwise, that means the last 2 presidents are actually in charge of important shit. That's fucking terrifying. Right now, we have a president with the attention span of a goldfish, and the last guy was literally a goldfish. Just orange and bloated and likes flushing things down the toilet, you know? My documents. I take it back, actually. My favorite conspiracy was the people who didn't want to get the COVID vaccine because of the microchip. Oh, there's a microchip in the vaccine. I'm like, I don't think there's a microchip. I think there's a microchip in the My Pillows. I think that's what's going on. It's obviously connected to a tiny speaker that just whispers subliminal messaging. Every night as you lay down to bed, it's like, the election was stolen. The election was stolen. You're very manly, you know? What do they call those things? A white noise machine? All right, yeah. Yeah, oh, take your time. No, it's getting hard to tell vaccine jokes. They're becoming less effective over time. When I first started telling vaccine jokes, like 93% of the crowd loved it. Unless they got the J&J, right? And then a couple months later, I noticed, like, hey, I think my laughter is starting to wane a little bit. My buddy's like, dude, just get a second vaccine joke. That'll boost your laughter back to the original levels. I was like, oh, what a great idea. Now, a year later, it's like, I think you need a 3rd or 4th vaccine joke. Do you have one that's okay for 5-year-olds? I'm like, fuck no, I don't. I don't know what kind of long-term damage exposure to jokes could cause. I'm tired of the arguing, you know? I wish we could just get along with each other. I mean, you know, except for when one guy tries to overthrow the whole thing. But, you know, if most of the sane people could just chill the fuck out, you know? America's too divided, and it hurts me, because most of the women I'm attracted to look like Fox News hosts. And a lot of them come that way, you know? So I actually dated a woman that was a Trump supporter for a couple months, right? Just trying to do my part to reach around the aisle. She ended up dumping me because I kept making fun of Trump. That was like a big deal breaker for her. She ended up sending me like a 6-page breakup email. And at the very bottom she wrote, "It's a shame people let politics divide us like this." I was like, you're the one that's upset. I'm still trying to fuck you. Like, why, you know, why can't we just come together? Yeah, if we could look at things from a different perspective, like doggy style, I know you would see things my way. She tried to troll me during the election. She sent me a photo of her toenails, and they were painted red and blue with the words Trump on it. I think she lost a toe in an accident, but, is that the right letters? Oh shit, that's 5. All right, fuck it. Cut that shit from the... Damn it. I thought of a genius tag at the last minute, and then I was like, nope. Me and Trump are the same intelligence, but I never pretended to be smarter. I'm a genius. I'm the best speller ever. Yeah. She sent me a photo of her toenails with the words Trump on it. So I wrote her back and said, hey, that's convenient, because once you're done with the nail polish remover, you can drink it and cure your COVID. It's a joke, relax. She's not gonna drink bleach. She needs it to wash her sheets. Everyone got it that got it? All right, cool, we're moving on. I don't know, I gotta stop talking about my failed relationships on stage, though. Girls tell me all the time that they hate it, which is weird to me. I mean, Taylor Swift makes an album about her exes, everyone loves it. I make an album about my exes, and a judge tells me to stop playing it on her voicemail, track by track. It's a double standard, and I'm sick of it. And I'm not saying I seek out someone with the opposite views as I have. It's just not a deal breaker immediately, right? Like, what I'm trying to say is, if that ass is round, the earth can be flat. I'm cool with that. That's a motto I can get behind. We gotta stop fighting, you know, we gotta get along with each other. Because if you're liberal, you're gonna need conservative friends. Because one day, your car is gonna break down. How many pride flags have you seen in auto body shops? I'm just saying. It's gonna be you and 3 douchebag comedians on the side of the road going, I don't even know why we opened the hood, to be honest. There's green shit everywhere. They did not cover this in my liberal arts degree. I don't know what to do. And then you're gonna limp to a Jiffy Lube and he's gonna go, just give me 20 minutes. You're like, all right, let's go, Brandon. Oh, please fix it. Take this bumper sticker off. That was my favorite political slogan, the Let's Go Brandon, right? Because it stands for fuck Joe Biden. But they say it like they think it hurts my feelings. They're like, fuck Joe Biden. I'm like, oh no, not my 6th choice for president. Oh. Leave Joe alone. He's got dementia. Yeah, strong take, person, woman, man, camera, TV, yeah. He's old as fuck. He doesn't know how to tweet. That's why we picked him. Sort of a feature, not a bug, you know? Let's go, Brandon. Say whatever you want. I don't care, you know? Get a t-shirt, have a blast. Just, I do hope that one day a trans athlete named Brandon wins an Olympic gold medal. Because then the bigots would have to buy new t-shirts. But, you know, other than that, have a blast. Their new thing now is they think Disney is indoctrinating their children. All right? And I'm watching Encanto with my nieces. It seems fine. I don't know. All the songs are like, you're still a good person, even if you can't lift 6 donkeys. I'm like, that seems like good messaging for kids. I don't know what the problem is. But now the Daily Wire is spending like $100 million to make their own kids' TV shows. I can't wait for Republican versions of kids' TV shows, you know? Hey, Blues Clues, can you help us find 11,000 votes in Georgia? That'd be fun. By the way, blue's actually red now because of the animal testing. But, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? She's in Ukraine looking for Hunter Biden's laptop. Introducing our newest cartoon, Dora the Deporter. No! It's a joke, relax. She's not deported. She's still in a cage. Oh, I know. I thought voting for Joe would stop that. Turns out the only thing liberals like cage-free is their eggs. It's a good one, but I get it, you know? So, all right. Let's wrap this bitch up, is what I should have said my first time having sex. That's how you improvise. How many letters are in Trump? I want to talk about the sign a little bit. If you're from Alabama, it says, hello, beautiful. You guys are tired. Oh, that was 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Okay, we got it, yeah. It's a thing I picked up from my parents because they've been married like 100 years. But still, almost every day when my dad sees my mom, he goes, hey, cutie. And it's so sweet because I know they hate each other. 90% of the time, they're bickering about traffic lights and Amazon packages and shit that doesn't matter. But he just goes, hey, cutie. And then she just, you know, falls for it. Hook, line, and sinker. So I just started doing that to all my friends. I go, hello, beautiful. And it turns out people love it when you lie to them. So I just started doing it to everybody now. It doesn't matter. My roommates, the fucking janitor at Chipotle, I go, hello, beautiful. And they believe it for a couple minutes. And I think it makes their day a little better. And so I think that's the message I wanted to give out to you is just, you know, spread love and positivity and joy however you can. If you do jokes, if you're poetry, or if you've got a great penis, whatever you can do, just try to be the best thing about someone's day, all right? Thank you so much for coming out. My name is Andrew Rivers. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. the front row has no idea what's going on. No. They're getting up to leave. They're like, oh.
That was awesome. I had so much fun, and I love especially Scott. I think that he was the greatest.
That was great.
It was a great show. It was hilarious. All the jokes landed. Even the guys who came up and hosted the show and everything. I thought it was a great experience, and I'd never seen him before, so it was great.
It's my third time seeing him. Yeah, it was great.
You guys shopping?
Fantastic.
Excellent show. Had a great time. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Fantastic. Funny as always. Can't wait to see him again.
It was amazing. Super funny. Funny guy. Loved it.
It was hilarious.
It was really good, thank you.
Great show. What was the feature act's name?
Feature today, that was Scott Lawson.
Scott Lawson. Okay, thank you.
Want to say anything about the show?
It was great.
It was great. Yeah, we loved it.
Oh God, it was hilarious. I had such a good time. I love Andrew Rivers. He cracks me up every time I see him.
We fucking did it. He killed it. He absolutely fucking slayed it. When it was crunch time, the last one, and he fucking nailed it. That's the best that he's ever done. I'm so happy. He got a standing ovation that I absolutely forced, but he deserved it. He killed it. I'm so fucking happy. Fuck you, Andrew.